Take the glasses off. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you can broadly see me. I've switched a few new buttons, so it should be like watching a film. Now you watch me. It should be so spectacularly different. I'm in HD. I'm sure you can tell the difference. I don't think it's made any difference at all, but I did press the button. Okay, so we're on week 3 of Strength Without Strain. That's the plan. That's the ideal. That's what we're working towards, whether we're doing it within the yoga setting, whether we're doing it within general movement, whether we're doing it when we're tense, and can we relax ourselves, and whether we're doing it when we're running or exercising. How can we find this ability to feel some strength and support in the body without feeling strain? Okay, so just start with a general shakeout, just to kind of align, waking up to the body. So any shakeout you want to do, bobbing up and down, whatever. If you want to do it more like a bit of a dance, then just do a bit of a dance. Simon's making his way in. Okay, good. Connect the breath out a bit more if you want to. Just let go of your day. Your day was a bit tough. Even if it wasn't, sometimes it's just pleasant to relax the body. Shake out, whatever way. So you just get a whole body feeling of shaking, awakening. Great, Simon, glad you made it. Sorry, I think I threw you out once. I had a few problems my end. Okay, so we're just starting standing, Simon, anybody else who's just arrived. And we're just doing a bit of a shakeout. Okay, hi Rob. Okay, and just come to a still place for a second. See how the body feels once you get back to stillness. Cat passing the screen. Okay, and yeah. Some of you really get into the groove there. That's great. Okay, so just feeling the sense of maybe just more conscious of the whole body now that you've done a little bit of a move, and see how that feels when you're still. What the sense of being both still but still having a sense of the body, feeling awake and a little bit more warm, a little bit more energy, maybe a little bit of different sense of the body, maybe a bit more consciousness of the breath as well. So that might be movement in the chest, movement in the belly, movement in the rib cage. Okay, so we're going to do movement, a little bit of movement for joints. So we'll actually start at the feet. So just notice that we've done a little bit of a jig. That means that the feet will feel a little bit more rooted to the ground probably than they would have been without. So we start off with the feet, just wriggle the toes. Yeah, so moving the toes in any way, so you can get all the toes off at some point or another, big toe, little toe. See how it feels to wriggle the toes, whether that's pleasant, whether it's a bit tight. So we're out of shoes, you might be out of socks, you might be in socks, but just so you can just really loosen in the toes, it can feel quite pleasant, quite nice, almost like you kind of putting your feet in water and just kind of getting a refreshing feel. Okay, another cat on screen. Same cat, Chris, it said, isn't it? Okay, and just see how that feels underneath the balls of the feet, whether you're creating any space to kind of and to lengthen the toes and waken up the toes. They might be cracking, they might be feeling a bit stiff, they might feel really pleasant, having some movement. Your weight might move back. Because your weight's moving back, to keep yourself stable, you might be actually using your belly muscles a bit without even thinking about it. You might be losing your leg muscles or even your butt muscles a little bit to keep yourself kind of stable. And then relax the toes down. And see how it feels with the toes back down. So if the feet feel longer, any more sensations in the toes? Can you feel all the toes? You might be able to detect what is your second toe, your third toe, but broadly, hopefully you can feel all the toes making a kind of connection with the ground. Okay, so just curling the toes up now. So that's a stronger movement. And just see how that feels. So that means we're lengthening and stretching the skin underneath the balls of the feet. And again, we're sending us back. So we'll have to kind of adapt the body to keep ourselves in terms of not from falling backwards, but can you keep length through your spine? So a sense of length through the crown of the head, but relaxing the shoulders, and then let the toes come back down. Just come onto the balls of your feet for a moment. So we're going in the opposite direction a little bit. So the weight's going through the toes, through the balls of the feet as we lengthen through the back of the body, if you like, back of the legs. Breathing tall through the crown of the head. Yeah, if you need to bob up and down, I prefer bobbing up and down. You can bob up and down. So people like bobbing up and down. It releases a little bit more for the calves. That is strengthening rather than releasing, to be honest. And then relax the heels down. And just let the breath out a bit. Okay, so hopefully you can see, just coming onto the ball of one foot, and I'm circling the ankle. Yeah, it's just loosening the ankles a little bit. So knee goes round, the hips going round, but thinking more about focusing on the ankle circles. Notice if you can create some space there. It might be really sticky, it might be clunky, clicky, grindy. It might be very limited. It might be really easeful. Okay, so obviously we need the ankles to be strong, but we don't want them kind of so rigid when we run that we kind of get into lock position. It's a tricky one. We don't want to be too unstable and falling over. We don't be too tight in it. That's going to restrict through the body. Circle the other way. So the knee, a little bit of a kind of Elvis Presley knee, and a little bit of movement for the ankle as you move on the ball of your foot, and your toes can also get a little bit more of a wake-up call. Let out any energy that needs to be released through the breath. And just come down with that foot. See how the leg feels. Side you've been doing a little bit the ankle movement compared to the other side, a bit more, a bit different probably, different weight towards the ground, different connection. And then other foot. So this does get into the calf. So we're doing on the second side now. Notice how much weight you're putting through the balls of the feet, and you can choose to give a little bit more weight. What difference does that make to the movement? Take off a little bit of weight. How does that feel? Is it easier? Is it more difficult? Is it more clunky on this side? So you try as much as possible to isolate the movement in the ankle. I mean, you can't stop the knee and the hip moving, but keep reconnecting with the ankle rather than sort of going into the knee or just the hip. Or the direction, if you've not done it, see how easy it is to move in the opposite direction. Usually one side works well. Again, any strain on the knee, just come out of this earlier. Find your own kind of movement. I'm doing this fairly quickly to just try and loosen up and hydrate and find space in the joints of the ankle. Okay, and back onto 2 feet. Okay, so you should really feel a connection now between the feet, giving weight through the feet if you can. So we're not collapsing, but we're just giving more sense of spaciousness. Big feet, spaciousness between the toes. And notice if it feels softer now or feels heavier. Notice if you feel more weight, more broadly on the feet rather than focus just at the front or one side. Okay, a bit more feety stuff. So might not be that easy to see from where you are, but I think I can explain it to you. So taking your weight now onto the outside of the feet, so little toe side, and just see how it feels to tip outwards. So again, that's going into your ankles, open your ankles up. Tip back into centre. Now if you can, then just coming on to the opposite side, big toe side, so your knees will knock, or you might have to take your feet wider in order to get your weight coming onto the inside of the foot. Back into neutral, one more time, outside of the foot. So it might not be that pleasant, depending. So we don't tend to do this with our feet. We're just kind of rebalancing things a bit. Back into centre, soften, and see if you can cope with coming back onto the inside of the foot. So again, we're stretching ankles, we're doing things with feet, toes, and back to centre. And just bringing up the knees for a moment or two. So we're just relaxing things a little bit more. Just getting a little bit of movement going. Okay, so just do a little bit with wrists. I know some people have issues with wrists when we kind of go onto all fours and things. So just really shake out the wrists. So really shake out if you're trying to get water off your fingers or something, or something stuck on your fingers, and just giving a really rapid shake, so it gets into both the joints of the fingers, getting space in the fingers, energy in the fingers, and energy in the wrists. So again, everything will join in. The elbows maybe, and the upper arm skin will be moving, and the shoulders will be moving, but think more about fingers and wrists. And then change the position slightly, so it's more like you're trying to cool yourself down. So it's a kind of flappy thing. So you might feel the air kind of moving, calming yourself down. So it's just a little bit different movement for the wrists. Again, trying to find space, breathing. And I think that's enough flapping for now, isn't it? So just calm that down and let the arms just relax. So that's woken the arms up as well as the wrists and the fingers and the hands. So again, probably a bit of buzzing vibration, feeling around the hands and the wrists, fingers, maybe still on the toes and the feet. Feeling the length from the feet all the way up the legs, through the butt and into the center, and feeling the connection between the hands, maybe the arms, shoulders and into center, if that makes any sense, of kind of imagining, feeling, sensing the arms and the legs going into the center of your body for support. Okay, so we're going to do a movement that we are all familiar with, but doing it slightly differently, or giving it a slightly different focus. So it's not that different, but it's just a slightly different focus. So if you sweep the arms up and just have a sense of reaching through the arms. If you reach through the arms, just notice if the belly comes in, and the side waist and the lower back, just so you know what that feeling is. So often we get that from lengthening, the belly gets, the back gets a support through the belly and the waist, like a kind of corseting feeling. So just capture that at the moment, that sensation. And now let the arms drop down and just let it have a natural momentum of doing whatever it does. So if that felt too strong for the shoulder, if there's issues with your shoulders, then just do them in a controlled way. But if you can, it's kind of more like a drop. So again, taking the arms up, reaching up, lengthening through the crown of the head so the back of the neck is broadly long. Feeling the length down the whole of the side body this time. So from armpits all the way down the legs to the outside of the ankles. Then feeling the inside of the legs from the heel, ankles. Yeah, so you might need to kind of waken that up a little bit. Notice if the butt's working, so as if there's a little bit of energy going through the butt. And then again, drop the arms, slightly bending the knees when I drop my arms, just to give me a little bit more sense of the earth, the ground supporting me. And I'm just letting that kind of run out of momentum. Okay, so we'll go into the more traditional one, but if you can, movement, which you'll know when I get going, but whether you can do a little bit more sensation, more sense of dropping the arms rather than just using control and bringing the arms down. So sweeping the arms up again, and this time we'll let them drop, but we'll bend the knees and bend at the hips and let it just kind of momentum go back up and then let it fall. Momentum back up and then let it fall. Momentum back up and then let them fall. Yeah. And think about the power or strength coming from the feet and the legs rather than dragging yourself up. So the arms will help you, but think about feet, legs, each time getting you up. And there's almost a moment of just pause at the top and then let them go. Pause at the top and then let them go. Pause at the top, then let them go. Okay, if you want to do the more breath work with it to release the diaphragm a little bit more consciously, then you can do stronger out breath on the descent. So a couple more. And then just let the momentum of the arms slow down naturally. Slightly soften the knees if you can, just so you really keep the legs feeling connected, feet feeling connected. A bit of strength work going on the legs without giving it a lot of attention, but just aware that's working for you. Okay, so just pause for a second. We didn't do that terribly long, but just take a hand to the belly and a hand to the sternum, chest sort of area. Have your feet at any position you're happy with having your feet. So it might be hip distance, it might be shoulder distance. Reconnect with the feet on the ground. And this idea also then of the pelvis and the rib cage kind of having a relationship in terms of center of gravity, center of balance, one above the other, and then the skull above that. So soften around the throat, soften around the neck, relax the shoulders. Feel the movement in the body so you can soften the belly for a moment. Having a sense of the spine. So as you breathe, just have a sense, even if it's kind of like a visualization, you might be able to feel the spine from the tail all the way going up to the connection with the skull. And a sense of upward energy through the spine. You might be more aware of on the in-breath, almost like there's a little bit of a rebound up the spine, if you like, through the in-breath. Lengthening through that and a bit of relaxing on the out-breath without collapse. So 3 more breaths, just settling. And when you've done your 3 breaths, then just allow the arms to release and just do a little bit of a soft twist. So let the arms feel heavy and long. So whether you're using your shoulders, whether you're using your pelvis to do the movement you choose, keeping length through the spine now, keeping that connection with the spine now. We want both a strong spine, but a spine that can adapt to twisting, rotating. So that needs to be done when there's a length through the spine rather than a collapse in the spine. Feel the air on the body, might be just the hands. I seem to be the only hot-blooded one today. Oh no, Sarah's got t-shirts on. Okay, and Chris. Okay, and then just let that come back to its natural stillness. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of release exercises for the neck. So necks are really delicate creatures. Yeah, dead easy, we know, just to kind of catch it and make it really uncomfortable, and then it's really difficult to do anything if the neck's really feeling really vulnerable. Neck tightness and shoulder tightness is just really common. So it's really important when we do these exercises with the neck that we lengthen before we bend with the neck, or we take the ear towards one shoulder and then towards the other. So think more extension and controlled lengthening. That helps me, might not help you. So we're going to do it with 2 different movements for the arms stroke hands, so we feel a different sensation in the arms, a different positioning for the neck. I'll get a little bit closer just so you see. So basically, I've got my palms facing down, I'm stretching through the palms of the hands and the fingers. Okay, and so there's a little bit of sense of the shoulders coming down rather than going up. Yeah, shoulders coming down. If you're not sure, just take them up and bring them back down. And feel the lengthening underneath the fingers and the palms of the hands and the wrist and the inside of the arm, if you like, softer area. And just make sure you're still breathing. So already this is quite a tensing position potentially. So just see if you can bring the breath and softness to it, as well as an engagement through that area of the body. Lengthen through the spine. And that might bring the belly in again a little bit. Might do, might not. Okay, so with that length through the spine, through the neck, through the crown of the head, just take the ear slightly towards the same shoulder. It doesn't matter which side you go. You're lengthening all the time. You're not trying to get your ear anywhere near your shoulder. You're just seeing how it feels to lengthen down the opposite side of the neck. It's lengthening rather than anything else. Keep the neck long as you come back into center. Relax the breath, relax the shoulders. And keeping that length, just see how it is the second side. So for me, the second side is more difficult, so I really need to think about lengthening. Try and keep my hands still alive, and awake. So there's no great value in going a long way if all it's going to do is muck your neck up. Extending through, so there's a sense of lengthening through both sides of the neck. Okay, just shake out the hands and shake out, just have a move and a breath, and just check that the neck and the shoulders are okay. So there'll be a response, but it shouldn't be anything that feels like you've pulled something or feels really uncomfortable. So so you just need to know that's safe. And if you feel it was safe, then we'll do it one more time. If you don't like it, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you don't like it, just do a twist. Do just some sort of twist that will loosen up in a more softer way. So back to hands in the same position. We'll just do it a couple more times each side. So really crucial to lengthen through the spine and lengthen through the neck to start off with. And sometimes that can start at the feet. So sense of the feet feeling solidly connected to the ground. You might want to just push them in slightly as if you're pushing through sand. Slightly soft knees, belly supporting you, but might be even active. Then make sure that the shoulders are relaxed down. Can you breathe? Take 2 breaths before you start, so you know the breath kind of can accompany you. And then breathing in, extend through the spine and the neck, and go to your favorite side, breathing out, but extending. Breathe in, keep the length, come back into center, and just stay in center for a second, just to check you're okay. Breathe in again, extend, lengthen, and second side. Space for the shoulders. Breathe in and back into center, and then in your own time, one more each side. Yeah. So if you need a break, take a break. Tend to breathe in to extend and breathe out to lengthen through the side of the neck. Breathe in to get yourself back. Keep the extension. You could relax in center if you want to. And the second side, lengthen, 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 lengthen. And breathe it in back to center. Relax the hands, relax the shoulders, hands to the pelvis, feet a little bit wider, and just go side to side, dancing style. Yeah, it's probably a Christmas song, but I should have said that. I'm going to go into your head now, isn't it? Okay, and then turn that into a circle. Let the breath settle. See how you feel in the neck and the shoulders now. You're moving. I'll go in the other direction for a little while. Back into the first. So we're moving a little bit more betwixt and between, and back to the other direction. 2 or 3 goes, and then back into the other direction. You find your rhythm, whether that's quick or slow. Okay. Okay, and then just have a shake out. Right. We'll go to lying down now. So I'll just adjust things so you might be able to see a little bit better. So, I need to move the chair, so that might make a bit of noise. Sorry. A bit more space. So coming down onto your back. And if you're comfortable with the legs extended, then extend the legs. If you're not happy with them extended because the back feels uncomfortable, then feel fine to keep the feet on the floor and the knees bent. Okay, so notice how you are when you land. Yeah, so definitely you can land here. So we will be doing movement in a moment or two, but just really land here. So the arms a little bit away from the body, but not. I don't want your arms at shoulder level. So just a little away from the body. Palms might face up, palms might face in, palms might face down, depending how your shoulders kind of meet the body. See how you feel across from shoulder to shoulder. See how the shoulder blades land on the floor. See how the back of the skull has landed on the ground. So it'll also give you a little bit of feedback of whether the neck is really okay. So you want to really have weight through the back of the skull if you can. So you're getting any letting go of any tension or holding in the neck, and hopefully the lengthening has supported you rather than undermined anything around your neck or your throat kind of area. Your arms will probably feel quite heavy because you've just that lengthening through the underneath of the arm. Hands will probably feel quite heavy and alive. And then going to the centre of the rib cage, back of the rib cage, back of the pelvis, weight in the legs, and how the breath's going then in the body. So I'm moving around quickly here just to get a sense of how you are and where the body meets the ground, taking in the support of the ground and letting go of the tension that you may have created through any of those movements. So allow yourself to give your weight to the earth. Sigh if you want to. Loosen the jaw, the eyes, the cheeks, the throat. And another layer of letting go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do rolling bridge, which most of you are fairly familiar with or very familiar with. So bringing the feet onto the floor with the knees bent. So the feet are hip distance apart, reasonably close to your butt, reasonably close, just so you know you've got some support for the lift. You just leave your arms soft. We'll be doing stronger bridges later, but for now, just keep the arms relaxing at the side of the body, wherever they're comfortable. Don't need to bring them tightly in towards the body. So taking a breath in and just create a little bit of an arch here if you can in the lower back without disrupting the lower back. And then breathe out and see if you can flatten the back down. Again, don't need to push it, but relax it down into the ground. In breath, create the arch. You're looking for a smooth transition between the arch and the flat. Just see how that's going for the back. So any tension in the lower back that's created by the arching movement, then don't do so much of an arch or just keep it neutral. See how from that arch and flatten what goes on in the muscles in the back, in the changes in the spine, in the centre and upper part of the back. How's it slide and glide along the floor as you arch and flatten? What happens in the neck when you arch? What happens in the neck when you flatten? Continuing that for 2 or 3 more rounds. So you're looking at smooth movement rather than getting into a big range of movement or pushing or pulling. You're kind of rolling really on the pelvis that creates the arch and the flatten. But thinking more of a roll, so that'll help you when we get into rolling bridge, that idea that we can just roll from the pelvis and change the position for the whole of the spine. So we're going to try and relax the spine and lengthen the spine. Okay, so breathing in and arching a little bit. Breathing out and flattening the back and pick the bottom slightly up off the floor. So get more weight, then I'll go through the lower back spine. Release the bottom down, breathe in, create the arch. Breathe out, pick the bum up and the lower back up, this time pressing through the feet. Lower down really slowly, really getting into that every bit of the back and the tail. Come back into an arch on the in-breath. Out breath, lower the back, pick the bottom up, the lower back and arrive on the base of your rib cage around your diaphragm. Give weight, just stop there for a second. Switch off your thigh muscles, switch off your butt muscles and allow the belly to feel a bit more like a hammock. So you're really giving weight now through the upper, mid and mid back, back of your head, top of your shoulders, arms. Now roll down really easily as you can. Yourself all the way down, slowly, slowly, slowly. Once you're down, come back into the arch and flatten, take the bum up, take the lower back up and and this time come to the base of the spine, of the, shoulder blades, and relax again for a moment. More weight through the shoulder blades, shoulders. You've got room for your neck. And lower down, slow, 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 slow. Much control as you can. I'm not quite down yet, I'm not quite down yet. Okay, I'm down, you may already be down, you might not be down yet. Okay, so just reverse that, create the arch on the in-breath if you can. Out breath, lower back goes down, bottom up, mid back up, and just rest on the base of the rib cage, and lower again, slowly. So in your own time, the next one will be just picking up the butt and the lower back. So just do your own movement, your own timing. Gently roll down, try and get each part of the spine down. And then the last one will be just picking the bum up rather than the spine, which means the tail will just round up. And when you're done, then just bring your knees into your chest and just do little circles. You can keep both knees broadly together, that's fine, that kind of circle. The legs moving together rather than separately. And circle in the opposite direction. Okay, so one more releasing movement, then we'll come into a little bit stronger work. Okay, so feet back on the floor. So we're doing the soft wash rag twist. So if you've got room, take your arms out to the side at your shoulder level, then do. Palms facing up is my suggestion. Feet this time wide as the mat, or gauge if you haven't got a mat. Okay, and just lie there for a second, just taking in what's going on in your legs. Your inner legs, your outer legs, your contact point with the feet. So making sure your feet are not too far away from your butt, so you've got some sense of connection with your feet to the floor. Okay, let the knees now go over to the right. So they drift as far over as they can. So keep allowing them to drift, but you're not collapsing. You're keeping the control all the way through until you come to your resting point. And then breathe for a moment or two. So you're breathing now into your left side of your body. Feel the length on that side. Okay, next in breath, you can bring the legs up, but bring the belly in a little bit as well. So in breath, bring the legs up, but bring the belly in as well. It contains the body. Arrive in center, let things relax around the shoulders, adjust anything you need to with the back of the head, and then go over to your second side. So just let the knees drift over, but they're drifting with control, so you know every part of the move down. You're not just letting them flop. Once you're down, you breathe into the right side of the body. Give a little bit more length if you can do through the right side, lengthening. And then next in breath, you bring the legs up in control, and you have a little bit of support the belly if you can, as you bring them back up to center. So do 3 times each way. You might do a breath once you've got your knees over to your maximum side, if you want to. Breath in and a breath out to just lengthen through the side. If you prefer to go more speedier and get a rhythm, that's fine too. Use your in breath if you can to get the knees up, but keeping the belly support. And find yourself, wherever you find yourself, maybe on the second side, maybe you already move quicker. So if you want to, on the next round, then you can take your head in the opposite direction than your knees. So you get a little bit more rotation for the spine, but only if that feels pleasant for the neck and the shoulders. Sometimes it feels really nice to unravel. So just make it a kind of relaxing movement, but keeping just that enough control that you're not allowing the legs to release and drop. And then you're creating a little bit of support for the belly if you can as you bring the knees back. So one more time each side. And then again, bring the knees into the chest for a moment, whether you, again, can take the head opposite direction or not. A little bit more of a release and opening for those of you comfortable in the neck. Okay, so knees into chest when you've done this next one. I can see some of you, obviously I can't see everybody, most of you can see. Okay, I think we're finishing there, so that's good. So again, if you want to rock side to side, or whatever feels pleasant for the lower back. Okay, and then release the legs and extend the legs along the floor. Release the arms by the side again, just see how you are now. See how the breath is in the belly, see how the weight is landing on the ground. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit, build up to a little bit stronger. So hopefully we've unwound a bit and relaxed a bit and released some strain. Might not have cracked everything, crack in a positive way. Okay, so if you make your legs a lie, so that means to me I take my toes up facing towards the ceiling, I have my centre of my heels on the floor, and I start to awaken the legs. So there's, for me, a little bit of lengthening through the legs, but the sense of the heels pushing down into the floor. And that means I can feel the inner legs and the outer legs. I can feel something going on around my belly, and to some extent my butt is activated, so a little bit of glute action without overdoing that. So for those of you that kind of get a little bit trapped in that, then you might need to switch that down. So notice if what's going on in your belly, whether you can have this sense of the belly coming in, the waist coming in, and the lower back coming in, and that you can still breathe. So the breath might come more into the side ribs or into the chest. Okay, and relax the belly, keeping some alertness in the legs. Breathe in and create the arch again, so you can expand your belly. Breathe out, bring the belly in, bring the lower back towards the floor, and recreate, if you can, that sense of the waist coming in, the lower back coming in, the butt coming into action slightly. Legs are still kind of activated. Still breath is possible, yeah, so it won't be a lot of movement in the belly, but to the side ribs or maybe the chest, a little bit more work going on. So pressing down a little bit more with the left leg, take the right leg off the floor, just about a foot off the floor. So you've got kind of counterweight of your left leg slightly pressing into the floor and the other leg lengthening away. The belly's active and the lower back might not be completely down, but there's a feeling like there's a lot of support in the centre. You might be overdoing it, so you can always let out a little bit. And then lower the leg down as slow as you can. Lower the leg down as slow as you can. Should be still lowering it down, 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 still lowering it down, still. Land and relax the legs. So that's really slow. So the strengthening work comes from the slowness, not from anything else. So let the breath be free, let the legs relax, let the butt relax, let the hands and the jaw relax. Okay, let's activate the legs again. Second side. So activate both legs, breathe in, create the arch. Breathe out, bring the belly in, the lower back down, have that sense of the waist getting support, lower back, belly getting support, core support, butt slightly switched on. Press through the right leg, lift the left leg. The counter weight of the one leg pushing in, the other one going up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then slowly descend. Slowly. landing. If you've already landed, you've already landed. If you're not, land fairly soon and relax the whole body. Okay. So, have a break for a second and then making sure your jaw's softened, your neck's softened. That out, stronger out breath. So re-engage the legs again. So slightly different movement. I think you'll get it from how I explain it. If you don't, you might just need to look this way. So both legs strong again. You can breathe in, create the arch. Breathe out, bring the belly down and get support in the center. Okay, so pressing through the left leg. This time lifting the right leg, similar distance, about a foot off the floor. And then take the toes out, spiraling the leg like an external rotation. So toes go out and then re-spiral back and take the heel down slowly, 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 keeping the support on the belly. And at some point landing and relaxing. Same time first leg, just do that twice. So re-engaging everything, legs, belly, support. It'll feel also like the back of your rib cage might feel a bit strongly connected to the ground as well. Okay, so that left leg down, right leg up, and once you get that foot off the floor, then externally rotating toes go out, still lengthening through the heel, and then you just spiral back, same journey, landing down slowly as you can. Control, taking the juddery movements away as much as you can, and once you land, you just relax everything you can. Okay. Second side, re-engage the legs, re-engage the belly. Sorry, breathe in, arch the back, and then bring in the belly. And then pressing down the right leg, activating the left leg, foot off the floor, external rotation of the foot, spiral out, lengthening all the time, and then return root, spiraling back, lowering the heel, extending away, keeping the belly active. And just for a moment, just relax for a second. And breathe in, arch the back, breathe out, everything activated in the glutes and the belly and the core. Press down again with the right leg, extend the left leg off the floor, come into that opening spiraling movement and retrace your steps, as it were, slowly with control, slowly, control, land and completely relax. Shake out the arms in the air, shake out the legs in the air. So everything loosen. Breath as well. Okay, well done. One of those strong things that looks really easy if you're looking at it, but it should be work. Okay, just activating the body. Okay, so feet to the floor, knees bent. Bring in your favourite knee in towards the chest. Take your hands onto your shin, as long as your knee feels safe like that. Activate for a moment the ankle, so toes head towards the ceiling. And just see a little bit of pressure of the hands on the shin and the shins on the hand, just so you get this sense of stability on your favourite leg side. So you should be feeling stable in the pelvis, so that kind of wakens up, and that side body, belly, etc. So keeping this leg where it is, that's going to give you stability. Come onto the heel of your other leg and extend the leg away on the heel. So the leg's on the floor, yeah, extended away, reaching, toes go towards the ceiling. So, okay, so that leg's long, the other one is brought in towards the chest, and you feel stable, counterbalance there. Okay, so from here, the extended leg, bend the knee, kind of dragging the heel along the floor towards the butt. When it gets somewhere near the butt, taking the foot off the floor, extending the foot towards the ceiling or towards the wall in front of you. Extend, lowering the leg, bring your belly in and get the support again out of the core as you reach. When you get the heel to the floor, it doesn't need to be quite as slow as the previous movement. The heel touches, bend the knee again, and just create those cycling movements. Bringing the knee in, reaching up. If it's tight in the hamstrings, then just keep the knee bent and think more about taking the foot towards the wall rather than towards the ceiling. I really tighten the hamstrings on this side particularly. And just lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Just keep stable with your favorite leg. So that means you're not wobbling from side to side. So 2 more on this side. Knee comes in, leg lengthens, lower back will be down. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Keep your stability in the favorite leg. And carry on if you want to push the hands into the knee into the hand to give that sense that you're not going to rock. So 1 more. And when you have finished, don't need to rush, then just have both feet on the ground with the knees bent. And just let the knees roll from side to side. Don't need to go to the floor. Just rock really on your back of your pelvis, yeah. Just to loosen up a little bit in your center again. If this is just too strong for the belly and the work is disrupting your lower back at all, then just either do less or just take a break. Okay, so we're going to take our least favorite leg in towards the chest now. Hands on the shin, engage through the toes. And if you want to, you can just see what it feels like to create some resistance between the hands and the shin. So that side feels stable, supported. The belly will be coming in, at least on that side. You know you're strong, you know you're stable. Should still be possibilities for breath, by the way. Okay, so with your spare leg, you're going to push away through your heel to extend your leg away. Press into the heel, toes head towards the ceiling, get that length, Feel the counterbalance with a stable leg. And then coming back. So bending the knee and letting the journey of the heel along the floor until it gets closer to the butt. At some point, bringing the foot off the floor and heading that broadly towards the ceiling or within your scope in terms of your hamstrings. So don't put your hamstrings under pressure, just keep the knee bent for those that need it. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And as soon as the heel touches the floor, then you bend the knee and you just cycle it back, up and round. So this one plus 3 more. And keeping the resistance in your least favourite leg, so you've got the support, you shouldn't be needing to wobble, that's giving you the stability. You're lengthening through your heel, so you're just trying to create that alignment as well as using your belly to give you the central support for the whole movement. So the core is giving you the work it needs to bring the back safe, and you can lengthen through the inner leg, the outer leg. A total of 3 movements. Brilliant, doing well there. It's quite strong for some of us, not for everybody. And again, when you finish that, we'll go back to a shakeout, I think, this time. So don't rush, but when you finish this one off, then just let the arms release, have a big little wiggle, really shape the back of the calves so they can really loosen it. Most legs are not, calves are really tight. Loosen out the wrists again, fingers again, toes again, ankles again. And release, so let the feet come back to the floor. So we're going to go back to bridge, but more of a strong bridge, or thinking of strength rather than thinking of rolling release bridge. So it's robot arms, most of you remember that. So upper arms are broadly, not tucked in, but closest to the body, and lower arms off the floor, so fingers pointing towards the ceiling. And the legs, they've got the feet hip distance apart, and the feet are fairly close into the butt. More important with this one would be the strengthening exercise. Okay, so breathing in to just create the arch. We're getting used to that now. Breathing out to lower the back down. And then pressing down through the feet and the upper arms to take the butt, pelvis up, up, up. And you decide where you feel you're comfortable with. So you shouldn't be anything going on your lower back. So just see what the range is without going to any discomfort in your lower back. So the feeling is that you're reaching your knees away, you're stable in your feet. Your arms are giving you some support there. Neck's free. And then lower the back down. It doesn't have to be as slow as before, but it's nice still to get a little bit of a sense of roll down. Okay, once you're down, breathing in to arch and going up for a second time. So you go down with the lower back if you can, then you pick your butt and your pelvis up. Knees reach away, keeping in line, so don't let the knees drift away. Arms support, feet are strong, sense of legs drawing, knees drawing away. Butt comes in, but not so much that it's creating tightness in the lower back. You just need to go down with your pelvis if your lower back's uncomfortable. Keep you free in the neck and lower down for the second time. Yeah, so rolling down, but it can be a little bit quicker than when we did the earlier ones. Okay, so this time we're going to go into one-legged version. So we go up with two legs and then we're going to extend one leg straight out in front. So what we're trying to achieve here is a pelvis staying stable when we go up, yeah? So when you're ready, breathe in to create the arch, if you're happy to do that. Out breath to lower the back down. Use the arms, use the feet, take the pelvis off the floor and come into a happy place for the lower back. Okay. Once you're there, again, just re-engage the legs. If the legs are not working, just press through the feet slightly. Okay, so choose whichever leg you want to. Keep your pelvis stable and bend in from the knee, extending one leg out. So the thighs are in line, the pelvis is in the same position, and we're just reaching again as we did earlier. We don't need to pull away through the heel. But the sense the thighs are in line, and the pelvis is in line. We're using more of our arms and our spare foot on the floor. Bend that knee and return the foot to the floor. So the pelvis still stays where it is. Now lower yourself down, roll down. Once you've rolled down, bring your knees back into your chest for a moment, reasonably tightly to take your bum off the floor and release the feet back to the floor, hip distance apart, keep the heel close to the butt, re-engage the arms again, and we're going to go up on the opposite side. So breathing in, create the arch, breathing out, flatten the back, butt comes off the floor then, and pelvis, using your arms to support you, using your feet to support you. You choose where you get to. Finding stability, making sure you're happy with that all you're going to do is lift the foot off the floor effectively. So second leg, give weight to the strong leg, the leg is going to support you. Release from the knee to extend that leg away. Keeping the pelvis in line, thighs broadly in line still. And belly's activated. Bend the knee back down to the floor. Everything stays as it is, everything stays as it is. As the foot's down, lower and relax through the lower back. Once everything's down, just bring the knees back in towards the chest reasonably tightly if that's comfortable. If you want to, this time, just take the knees side to side or in circles for a moment, just to kind of disrupt any tension that's been created. Well done. Okay, and you want to shake out, be in a bit of a shake-outy mood today for some whatever reason. Okay, so feet to the floor. We'll probably just do one more here because I'm taking a lot of time. So feet on the floor, knees bent. This time take the hands, interlock the hands and put them under the back of the head so the elbows are out to the side. Just making sure you're lengthening through the spine, so you can always pick your head up and just extend it away. Sometimes you can overdo that, so literally create any additional tension, but just lengthening through the spine, arms out to the side. So feet are happy distance, don't need to be too close to the butt. So you've got a more neutral spine, but your hip distance apart. Okay, similar business. Create the arch on the in-breath. On the out-breath, flatten the back. Create the arch on the in-breath. On the out-breath, flatten the back. So the next time we do it, we're going to bring the elbows together and take the upper back off the floor on the out-breath. So breathing in, create the arch. Breathing out, bring the belly in a little bit strongly. Bring the elbows in. Let the hands bring the head off the floor, back off the floor, and just hold it there. Let the neck extend and release into the hands. Back, lowering the upper back down now this time, extending, rolling like we were rolling in the bridge, extending all the way back down to your base. But once you're down, you might be down already, just let the elbows release and come down. Okay, so create the arch on the in-breath. Flatten the back on the out-breath. Belly in a little bit more support. Use the belly support to bring yourself upwards, bringing the elbows in, let the head relax into the hands, the elbows are leading. Hover, hover, you might be kind of shaking or maybe not. And then release down slowly, slowly, slowly in the same way as you were with the bridge. Just rolling the upper back rather than the lower back. Extend, extend, and relax down. One more go. If you want, not leave it out. Breathing in, create the arch. Breathing out, take the belly in and lower the back. Elbows in, bring yourself up to whatever position you can through your belly muscles. And from the pause, roll back down slowly as you dare, extending through the spine, expanding or lengthening through the neck without forcing the neck long, and then let the elbows release. Brilliant, well done. Okay, so take the arms, or take from under the hands, take the arms away, bring the knees to the chest, and either rock up or roll over from there. And just going for a second on our hands and knees, but won't be staying that long. So rolling over or coming forward, and find yourself onto your hands and your knees. Okay. So that's a bit of a shock, we've been down a while. Okay, so you're on all fours. And just see how your arms feel, hands feel, wrists feel, neck feels. How your arms connect into your body, how your legs feel inside the thighs, outside, how your butt feels, whether you feel you've got support in your belly because you've been doing a lot of work with the belly. So we're looking for containment. Okay, so from here, again, most of you know this one, where we round the back, push back so the bottom goes towards the heels, forearms come down, so we low, low, low. And then like we're pushing a ball with the head, coming forward, and at some point the elbows will come up and we'll come back to base. So 3 or 4 of those movements, reaching back, giving space down the inside, the outside of the arms, resting the arms down, keeping the belly low, chest low, working your way forwards. If you're pushing a ball with the top of your head, crown of your head, float forward and a little bit of that push through the hands and back. So you lengthen back, you lower the arms down, you float forward, but low, and then a gentle push will get you back. So one more, you can round the back if you want. If you don't feel that's kind of helpful, then you just sit back a little bit with your bum. Might go back, might not. Keep the chest low, float forward, float, 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 and onto hands and knees. Okay, we'll do one more movement here, then we'll come to a standing movement. So just to get into a twist from here,
Just taking one hand underneath you, sweeping along the mat to come into this kind of threading the needle as your arm threads under. You come onto your shoulder, or your shoulder might not get down. You're on the sides of your, sort of on one temple, if you like, and just see if that's okay for you to relax in just for a moment. If you're not comfortable, you gently bring yourself out of it. So these movements in and out of it need to be controlled. So when you're ready, pressing down with that hand that's on the floor to release the arm and bring that back into its position on the floor, back on all fours. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, opposite hand sweeps under, sweeps along the floor to get, if you can, get towards the shoulder and towards the floor without forcing that. Goes where it goes. Don't want to create more tension for the neck if we did release it. So see how it is in the head and the neck. Breathing in and breathing out here. And next breath in, use the hand to give you the support to get the other arm out. And then coming up and finding your way to standing. So I just need to do a little bit of reorganizing so you can see me and I can see you. Okay, good. It's worked. Okay, that might be a little bit better. That looks a little bit better. Okay. So see how you're on standing. You're on new standing. So see where the feet, how the feet land. Keep the knees soft. And see where your pelvis is. Can it be kind of balanced, center of gravity? How's the rib cage? Can that be balanced above the pelvis? How's the head? Can that be balanced above the rib cage? Extend through the spine a little bit without overreaching. Okay. So just to give you a moment's break and arrival on stand, I'll just show you the movements we're doing in sun salutation. So just watch this way. So I've brought my hands together. So it's easy if you watch from the first one and we can join in. Okay, and then I'll extend my arms up. I'm bringing my hands together. You probably can't see that. I'm bringing down through the body to roll forward as we normally would, and then releasing the hands. Top body relaxes, neck, head, everything. Head and hands even onto shins to extend through the spine. Back down, so we know all this, most of us do, it might be a bit of a reminder for Zoe. So just relaxing top body, upper body. And then we'll step back into a high lunge. We'll lower the knee down and we'll do this position which we've been doing in chair pose, where we take opposite elbow to thigh, the palms together. You might be able to see brilliantly, but I think you'll remember that from last time. Feet, hands back down for a second, come back up into high lunge where we were before. If you feel stable enough, then it's the same position. You need to keep your belly in, extend through the spine to get that feeling safe here. Back down. Obviously we'll do both sides, but we'll probably take a break between, and then the usual way to step forward to come down, rest down, take the bum down to go into a squat, bring the arms up, back into center. Okay, so maybe you don't feel comfortable doing it with the full lunge, so you might just stick with the knee down for the first time. You might give it a try and see how it goes. So come into the front of your mat if you're not already there. Hands into center, and just get the feeling of the hand against hand, feeling the shoulder blades connect, shoulders go back and down without forcing them, but that sense of stability in the upper body. Notice what's going on in the belly. So there's a little bit of work here to keep ourselves supported. So again, a little bit of belly in, waist in, and lower back in. Feeling the inner thighs, the lower the inner thighs, the outer thighs, and the feet. Lengthening through the whole spine, crown of the head. Take a breath in, releasing the hands, sweeping the arms to the side if you've got space, and lengthen. Bring the palms together. Bring the palms down the centre of the body and bowing until you can bring the whole body forward. Top body over bottom body, relax the hands down, relax the whole upper body now down over the lower body. Bring the hands onto the shins and lengthen through the spine, keeping the knees as bent as you need to keep that length through the spine. Relax the top body down again, fingers to the sides of the feet. Reach back with your left leg. Okay. And bring the hands, bring the knees, bring the back leg to the knee to the floor. Then take the hands together to take the opposite elbow over the opposite thigh. Yeah, so you're facing the towards the bent knee. Breathe in, extend through the spine. See, there might be a bit more twist, there might not. Okay. And release the hands down on twist. For a moment, come back into neutral. Belly in, extend through the spine. Press through the back foot again to come up into that higher lunge. See it already if you feel like you've got stability to help you make a decision. Okay, if you can, then you release the hands, press through that front foot, give you stability, and do the same exercise on the same leg. Yeah, if that's working for you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, a little bit mixture there. Well done. Okay. And release the fingertips back to the floor. Get your back in centre. Get your body back into centre. Lengthen through the spine. Press through the back, ball of the back foot for a moment. So you know what it feels like to kind of bring yourself into centre and get that core support for a moment. Then the back knee, push off from the back foot and join the front foot. Bottom down to get into a squat. Push off through the fingers. Lengthen through the arms. And again, bringing the palms down to centre and into the heart space or the chest. I'm just going to the other side so I can do my other side and still see you. Okay, so just get a sense of your feet, hip distance apart. Wake up the legs, wake up the butt, wake up the belly. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Okay, let's go for it. So sweeping the arms up to breathe in. Palms come together. Palms, arms come down the centre if you bow in and you take the body down, top body over bottom body. Relax the hands towards the floor, relax the head. Hands to shins, keep the knees bent to extend through the spine, lengthening through the neck, crown of the head. Fingertips to the floor again, rounding the back, softening the back. So opposite leg back and onto the knee. And then release the fingertips to take your elbow towards your front knee, opposite elbow towards that front knee, you might disappear. Lengthen through the back by bringing the belly in. Feel stronger and more supported. Okay, release gently, unwinding the body to get the fingertips back to the floor. If you're doing step 2, then you take the knee off the floor, you just do step 1 again. There's no problem with that. Sometimes that's a really sensible thing to do. See if you're stable. I'm less stable on my second side. So let's see if we can kind of press the front foot down to really make that front leg strong. And bring the belly in, release the fingertips, and again, see whether there's a scope for you to get into this second side. It might be possible, might not, so don't beat yourself up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Lengthen through the spine, belly, support, and release the fingertips down, come back into centre. Well done. Okay, press through that back leg, balls at the back foot, front foot, alert. See if you can get both legs strong for a moment. Feel like they're kind of coming into centre, in towards the sort of pelvic floor almost, inner thighs working. Okay, bend the back knee, push off with the back foot joins front foot, bottom down, so you get into a squat, push your fingers and extend up, reach up, hands together and back down to the chest and just
relax there for a moment. Okay. Okay, I would have liked to have done that more often, but you may not. But I've gone a little bit slower than what my plan said. I'll be honest. So we're just going to do one more standing softer movement. If you'd rather just go on your back, that's what you need, go on your back. But if you feel like you're happy to finish standing, then we'll finish standing. Okay, so let's take the legs wider. So there's nothing particularly new here. People know where we're going. So got my toes out, heels in. Bending my knees, and my knees are tracking over my toes so that I've got that alignment. So we have been trying to work, we have been aiming to work a little bit more with what's been going on around this centre, finding the support. And it's really tricky to sometimes find the right support without almost strangulating ourselves in the centre. So it's playing around with that, but today I was just kind of giving you an activation kind of prompt. So just take one hand to the belly and one hand to the lower back here, and just notice whether your butt's sticking out, and if it isn't, and just see what it feels like to just let it stick out a bit. So that for me creates more of an arch in my lower back. Then just take the butt underneath and see what that does to your lower back. So for me that lengthens the lower back. And see if you can find somewhere halfway between so that you've got a neutral spine. So there's a little bit of a bend, a little bit of an arch, but not so much of an arch that you feel that you've lost support from your belly. So there's a little bit going on in the belly, but nothing too strong, because we're in neutral. Okay. Then we can take the arms out to the side. Okay. So from here, keeping a little bit of support on the belly, extend through the spine and have a look up. So it's more of an upper back extension. And then out breath, we're going to bring the fingers together, go round the back. So the bottom will tuck under now and look down. Breathing in to open up again, lengthen through the spine and just have a sense of more opening through the chest and the upper back. And breathing out, belly in, rounding the back, looking down. So continuing that with your own timing, your own rhythm, your own support. So be careful when you open up to not create too much going on in your lower back. So I can see a little bit of that happening. Temptation is to really want to stretch open. Just have enough containment so that your lower back, it's got some support through the belly and it's more lengthening through the spine. It's hard to describe. It's better not to go into that opening if you're just going to create kind of a bit too much danger for that lower back. Okay. Couple more. So next time, just open to neutral when you've got an opening. Extend through the arms, open the palms, the fingers, lengthen through the legs, so pressing through the feet, so kind of like a cross position. And then let the arms go, get the legs back together and have a shake out. The breath, be free. If you want to twist, twist. If you don't want to twist, don't twist. Let the wrists, let the arms, let the feet, let the whole body relax and shake. So we're shaking our way out today. Shake the way in, shake it away out. So hopefully you've got that sense of belly activation a little bit. Sometimes we have to do a little bit too much and then tone it down. Sometimes we have to gradually find that right place to give us support for strength in the body. Okay, folks, so this recording, I'm going to try and edit it if I can so that I've missed off the beginning when we're all arriving so I can send it to you if you want it. And I've got 25 minutes with the sun salutation lunges for you and a bit of other things if you want to do that in the week. So tar for coming, have a good week, and I'll see you next week for week 4. All right, stay safe, we're nearly there, take care, blessings. Take care.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Cheerio.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, Paul. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.